Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Spotlight, which is brought to you by the Georgetown branch number 5520, where we are here to educate, motivate, and activate. My name is Ebony Hughes, and this is
Deontay Winchester, first VP and youth advisor. Nice to be with you all this morning. Hopefully, everybody is doing well.
absolutely. So, we want to go ahead and jump into today's show. We have a very special guest. Her name is Laura Gassler. She's from the Habitat Humanity. But before we get started, Deontay, let's go ahead and talk about a subject here before we bring her on about the death penalty.
Okay.
As many people know, that in South Carolina, supposedly there was a shortage of the lethal injection medication, and they made some changes in policy where the death penalty would only be by electrocution or fire squad. You heard about that?
Yes.
Is really striking some nerves. Again, we knew about it, I think, since last year sometime, but it's really pushing really close to home now because the first person who is going to die by the new policy is it has just been released.
Wow.
Um, this man, uh, he was convicted of a fatal shooting in 1999,
Okay.
and he will be the first person to die by firing squad. So they gave him actually a choice of which one he wanted,
Okay.
and he made the choice of the firing squad. Your thoughts on that?
Well, you do the crime, you got to pay the price. But where where I lose a lot of faith in the death penalty is there have been so many instances where people have been executed and we find out later that they were innocent.
Right.
So anytime you talk about the death penalty, you're definitely going to touch some nerves. And then um when you think about it, the whole justice system is supposed to be about rehabilitation, not so much punishment, but rehabilitation, making these people pay for their crimes and preparing them to re-enter society. How was taking their life doing that?
Right.
And also for me, death by firing squad that's a tough way to go. That's a tough way to go. As you know, I'm a combat veteran, so I've seen some things, and that is a tough way to go. But he made the choice to do that. He was he had the choice between two horrible choices, and he made the best one for him. But my goodness, I would not want to be him, and I wouldn't want to be in the room or the area when that happens.
Yep, exactly. So it says here that South Carolina inmate is set to die by firing squad later this month, and he is asking the state Supreme Court to halt his execution. There are about two or three other inmates in South Carolina that have run out of appeals. So,
Hmm.
one thing that I want people to know about the firing squad, I'm not sure whether many people knows how that works. I'm not sure the exact policy for South Carolina, but generally the firing squad works where the person is obviously placed in a certain position, and
Hmm.
there will be a number of people with a gun. Only one of them has a live round,
Yeah, and others have blanks.
have blanks. So supposedly only one of those guns would have um, made that would
So
make
you
the
kind
death
of got plausible deniability. You don't know whether you took the fatal shot or not.
right. But what does that do? How do they even choose who's going to be on this squad? And what does that
Mhm.
do to a man or a woman if you give them a gun? They don't know whether it's loaded or not. With you having your background in behavioral health and psychology, what can that do to a person on the squad?
Yeah,
Thinking that, you know what, I could have been the person to take this person's life.
It
I mean,
depends
what
on the
is it?
individual. I would say for most, it would be a traumatizing experience. But unfortunately, there are some individuals who would volunteer for such a thing, and dare I say, enjoy it. So
That's
it really depends. And another concern that I have is, what's the training leading up to this? Are they looking at, I don't know what it's called for law enforcement, but for us, we have to qualify at the range. Are they looking at the range records? Because this has to be a well-placed shot, or that individual is going to suffer for a long time.
suffer for, and that's my thought. I'm thinking, well, gosh, what if one shot don't do it? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
My son, he thank God he was involved with the Tomo program. For those of you who have children, if you don't know about Tomo, it's Take One, Make One, and it's a mentorship program through DNR. It teaches the kids about conservation,
hmm,
as well as how to gather their own food, which is really good. My son hunts and all of that good stuff, but he's taught where to, let's say, shoot a deer, exactly what they call a kill spot, so
yeah,
that the deer doesn't suffer. And then on top of that, so it doesn't run off and you can't find it. If you can't
yeah,
find it, it does the animal and you no good. But then it's just that chance of, golly, what if somebody, anyway.
yeah. It's wow. I hope nothing goes wrong, but it's definitely there. The chance of human error is definitely there. And when you add to the whole scenario, the fact that some of these people may be anxious, they may not be completely comfortable with doing that. So when you add all of that to the situation, and you think about the fact that this has to be a very perfectly executed shot, that's going to be very difficult.
Exactly.
That's going to be
Exactly.
very difficult. So I'm just praying. I'm praying for the brother. That's all we can do.
That's all we can do. Matter of fact, what I see, matter of fact, we got the president of the NAACP, Georgetown branch number 5520,
Mhm.
waiting to come in, actually. And
And I'm sure Mr. Neal can speak to that too. It's depending on the distance, it is very difficult to place a very well placed shot. And my last two qualifications, I qualified expert. My last one I was 40 out of 40. And I'm telling you, it is difficult. I don't know what type of weapon they're using, but man, it can go wrong very, very quickly.
very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess another one of my thoughts, when it comes down to this is Deontay. Um, it reminds me of, you remember with the Concorde planes,
No.
they fastest planes on Earth,
Hmm.
even now. Well, they had a plane crash, which plane crashes sometimes happen, but they actually stopped flying those planes because of they thought they had safety risk. And Maya Angelou flew on the last flight of the Concorde, and she said this marks the day where we're now making a digression. When we're supposed to be making progress, we're digressing.
Mm.
So when you just really sit here and think about, inmates are given two ways to die now.
Two horrible ways.
Two horrible ways. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the word barbaric, right? We have taken a step back, haven't we? I mean,
They
a
might as
lot,
well they might as well bring a guillotine up there.
right? They might as well bring the guillotine back. They might as well bring the cross back. They might as well bring whatever, all of that stuff back, because that's just taking a step back. And supposedly they're doing this because they don't have enough lethal injection medication. Now, I have a hard time, I'm not saying it's not true, but I have a hard time believing that they killing so many people by lethal injection. You can't keep up with the demand for death. I
So in
mean,
my
think about
mind,
that.
if they don't have the proper materials to execute that man the way that it should be done, they need to stay that execution until which time that they have it.
Exactly, until they can get some type of humane way,
Yeah.
of doing this. But Mr. Neal is here. Mr. Neal, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Ebony. How you all doing?
Good.
Good, good.
I
Um,
heard the conversation. It's very interesting. We were on the state meeting this morning, the executive committee meeting, and we were talking about the challenges that we have by digressing and the barbaric ways that things are happening, and just to remind you how bad it is. It's and don't take this lightly, and the audience don't need to take it lightly. When we start executing people because we don't have the proper way to do it with the ways that they're trying now with firing squads and stuff of this nature. Just think about Ketanji Brown Jackson's situation there and what Lindsey Graham and those and how they just tried to dehumanize her. Nothing else that they had on this woman but to try to dehumanize her, to go in a closet and vote for her because he didn't have his necktie on. Just think about it. And people like that, it's not that he went in his closet because he didn't have his necktie on. He went in his closet to put back on the hood that he took off anyhow. And that's what's happening. And Tim Scott, this is a black man that understands the impact of the death penalty and the life sentences of black people. Just look at the Michigan governor situation. Those people are acquitted. Went in there and said they would kill her, but yet still they are they've been acquitted to walk away. This is a governor now because she's a Democratic governor. If that was a Republican governor, if that was a black man, they went in there armed. Just think about that. So we have some ways to go. Our fight never ends. It's like a new fight every day. It's like you're starting all over because of the challenges and how the challenges are heightened. Just think about the past president. The situation we are in the world right now. People are talking about the gas prices are high because of President Biden. It's not because of President Biden. It is because of what we have tolerated from an insurrectionist president and a flat out authoritarian style leader in Russia, communistic, that partnered with him to try to dehumanize, national people like Hillary Clinton and those in this country, President Barack Obama, bring this clown to the White House. Now he's destroying people. Unprecedented level. Just death after death, bombing hospitals with pregnant women in it and stuff. This stuff is just not a local thing that we're dealing with. It's a national thing to control human life based on how they feel. That's what it boils down to. And that's what's happening right now with hateful people in America, trying to control black people again because of the advancement that we have made. Just think about it. And they need to expand the Supreme Court for this time right now. And people need to understand that the policy that they make for us eventually will catch them. And that's when things starts to change. So we have to do our due diligence ourselves with our children, our families, and make sure they're in safekeeping, and make sure that we go to the schools and deal with these, because it starts at the bottom level. It starts right here in Georgetown County School District with the mindset of someone that could put body shackles on young black male for a 5-second punch. You hit the head, hit the desk. You walk yourself to the office, and they walk back in body shackles because it's black male. But they could find a gun in white male's truck in the parking lot with bullets, and that's dismissed and just swept under the rug. These are the things that we're talking about. Just some of the things we talked about this week, Ebony, when we are on with the state president and those.
Right.
So, and I don't want to get too far off cuff, but it is shameful. And I think not only that we could do a better job, we know they can do a better job, but we have to do a better job.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Neal, for speaking those words, because they're words of truth. And I realize right now that you're out of the studio. You're not you're traveling right now, and it's a lot of things that we really need to sit back and really think about, how when we open certain cans of worms, it leads to other things, the next things, because, and I say all the time, just like Dr. MLK said, injustice anywhere is a threat to injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And if something's happening over in the other side of the world, it affects us here.
Most definitely.
You know, whether now or later, and you can't let it happen. And that's why we have to support one another. And so, leading on to our next topic, because we have a very special guest, and I want to get on to something more happier, something that we can do right here in our own community. Okay. Because it starts in our own home. That's the only way to make improvements. You have to start in your house. And then when you start in your house, then you start in the community. But we want to bring on, excuse me, representative, and she will tell you what her background is and everything with Habitat for Humanity. That's actually a local organization that we support, Club 142, which I'm a part of. A whole bunch of people support Habitat for Humanity because they are doing some wonderful things. They will tell you about hopefully a grant received so that some work in the community can be done for those who are less fortunate and that we want to help. Before we bring her on, any words?
Well, Ebony, I've met with Miss Laura Gassler on several occasions. Great organization, lots of money. I mean, you know, in the organization, a lot of times we look at organizations as they're supposed to do something for us. But the start of any organization or any growth or connection with communities, you have to have you have to make sure you have the mindset of a hands up, not a hand out.
That's
So
right.
you have to connect with the people in your community for ownership when these organizations come into your community, because they have a lot to give, but you have to share that giving. You know, if it's just time, manpower, and stuff of that nature, we have to share that giving, you know, because we can't survive to where we are going. I mean, no one, black, white, anyone. This organization it's a national organization. It's huge, but
Yep.
you have to share that, and we have to share our skill sets in our community. You can just give that time. So, you know, we welcome Ms. Laura Gassler, and you know, and back to you, Ebony.
Yes, I'm so excited. And matter of fact, as we bring her on, if you have any questions, comments, good morning, Miss Bradley, who also is very involved in the community and helping out with housing repair and all that good stuff. If you have any questions, please go ahead and post them because you could be featured on today's spotlight. And with that being said, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I am great. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Are you? Can you tell us a little bit about? We all have heard of the name Habitat of Humanity, but there's so many different things that you're doing, that you're working on. You have the restore, you have the homes and everything going up. Can you tell us about some of the projects that you're working on?
Sure. So let me give you a little bit of background. There are over 1,100 Habitat affiliates in the United States, and each Habitat office is called an affiliate. There's 1,100 in all 50 states, and each one is operated separately. So in other words, we have our own boards, we have to do our own fundraising, we have our own volunteers, et cetera, and we're run a little bit differently. So ours started about 31 years ago after Hurricane Hugo. And for most of that time, we built homes, 2, 3, 4-bedroom homes. And in February of 2020, we decided to expand our program and include repairs. So we now repair homes. Since that time, we've repaired about 35 homes in Georgetown County. As a result, and I'll go into detail on each of those in a little bit, but the overview of the program, as a result of that, of our repair program, came a new program for seniors called Cottages. And when we do a home repair assessment, we get an application in, we go look at the home, we assess it, what its needs are. Can it, is it within our scope of work to repair it? We found out that there were a lot of homes that were beyond our scope of work and we really couldn't repair. And we also realized that they were owned largely by seniors. And so we sat around lunch one day And we tried to think, what can we do with these seniors? These are supposed to be golden years. They're not supposed to have to live in conditions where the roof leaks or there's no siding or their windows are cracked and that kind of thing. And we came up with the idea of the cottage, which you may have seen. Our first one's being dedicated on April 19th. It is a 675 square foot home, a 1-bedroom. And we're making, since these are for seniors, we're making them so they're entirely ADA compliant. And excuse me. So they'll have wide doors, toggle switches, everything you need to really be able to age in place in your house. And so that's our newest program. Beyond that, we have a paint program, and it's open to, at this time, residents in the West End, where we will supply paint and paint supplies if you want to paint the exterior of your own home. And it's no cost to you. It's just very easy application process. And then we have an education program that focuses on legal, financial, home maintenance, and cultural and social skills. So we've really grown the program quite a bit in the past couple years. We're very excited.
That is absolutely amazing. I mean, I learned something so far just now. I had no idea. So it looks like just let me make sure I'm doing the right recap. You guys do programs with home repairs, senior cottages, the restore, the family homes, paint program, exactly. And the education program.
Yes, yes.
Wow, your hands are full.
It is. And so one of the things I want to definitely talk about, as Mr. Neal said, we have a lot of money. We were very fortunate to get $200,000 from the city of Georgetown out of their American Rescue Plan Act funds. And this is for repairs in the city limits of Georgetown. And so this is what we're doing: exterior repairs, which includes roofs, siding, painting, porches, ramps. We will do HVAC systems. And it is for residents in the city of Georgetown that could use a little bit of help.
So, and I'm pretty sure you'll get to it because I'm kind of excited. I don't want to cut you off. And if you're going to answer that question later, let me know. But how do people apply? What do they do? Where do they go?
So it's very easy. We've put in 70 different locations. In addition to our office, we've put these brochures in 70 different locations around Georgetown, the city of Georgetown. So you'll see them in convenience stores, your churches, gas stations, social services, offices, everything. So if you don't see one around, just come by our office and pick it up. Basically, it's an application. It's not really tough. We do require some documentation, but other words, just come and apply.
Wow. Okay.
Ms. Laura, what are the qualifications?
So you do have to be considered low income. Okay. And that is, excuse me. I don't know if y'all are aware of the phrase, or your listeners are aware of the phrase area median income. And that's how a lot of the programs are conducted for lower income families. You have to be below 80% of the area median income. And in Georgetown County, that's about $48,000 for one person. So the criteria is right here. The income levels is right here. For an example, if your family size, say, is 2 people, to be part of this repair program, your income has to be between $15,500 and $41,300. So it's all spelled out.
Well, you know, that's a lot of people, isn't it? In Georgetown, because the median.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. And the thing is, say you're a family of 4, your income can be as high as $51,600, and you'll apply and you'll qualify for this program.
What's the income, Mr. Neal, of the average person in Georgetown?
Well, on the west end of the west side of Georgetown, that median income is inclusive of the Walkmore area, where income level is higher also. So that gives a great lift to the rest of Georgetown. Doing situations like this. So the median income here on the side of the bridge coming off the Paulus Olive Bridge is right at between $24,000 and $30,000 a year. So pretty much everyone that's in the condition could qualify for this if they have all the other requirements like proper deeds and stuff like that for their property, IRS tax return, bank statements covered the past 3 months, other income documents for all adults in the household, such as SSI, SS, and disability, etc. The adults are defined as who is 18 years of age or older, and that is awesome. You just can't beat that. But the key is, it's a hands up, not a hands out. And
Right.
I think that's the biggest challenge of a lot of what we are going through right now in Georgetown, period, across the nation. We got to get people out to make sure they help their neighbors. There's neighbors helping neighbors, what it boils down to. But,
Right.
but the challenge, I mean, Ms. Grosser talked before, the biggest challenge, they have to travel, 40 to 50 to 60 miles across the county to do a home. Half of their time is on the road. If they have an accident, that's another challenge. So our neighbors, we are equipped with the same abilities and skill sets in the community. We need to make sure we bring that together and then help ourselves in our community. Because if the money is there, hey, the material's there, hey, the hands need to be there. And
Right.
I'm going to just leave it like that. I don't want to take over this.
No, that is absolutely true. So the majority of our volunteers are coming from Pawleys Island. And, I was speaking with Mr. Neal last night about something needed up in Plantersville. And I said, well, they generally volunteer from 8 to noon, 8 to 1 o'clock. And if they're coming from Pawleys and they're going to Plantersville, they're spending half their time traveling. And, we do need volunteers in the local area. We do need the community to get involved. And I'll be perfectly honest, our volunteers have asked why people in the community that we are helping don't help us. Why aren't they getting involved in helping to do the repairs or helping to do the build? And why are they coming, and why do they seem more concerned about helping people in the community than the community does helping itself?
Right. That's
a true and honest statement, and that needs to be said.
Yep, that's true. We do have a question from the audience for Ms. Gassler here.
Sure. Once an application is processed, how soon will it be approved? If you bring, is this for repairs, Tamika? Okay, let's just guess this is for repairs. Text me if it's otherwise. So once you fill out this, okay, yes. So once you fill out this, the best and quickest way is to make sure you have all these documents. Make sure you filled it out. Make sure you have all these documents. We look at it immediately. We make sure that your income qualified, that your house is not on heirs property, which is a big thing. And if you pass all that, then it goes before the 2 staff people will come out and look at the house and do an assessment. It gets approved internally, and it could be within, I don't know, a couple weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before you're approved. Now, your job may not start that quickly just because of several things. One, once it's approved, if your job has windows, it's a 3-month wait for windows right now, but we'll order them. And as soon as they come in, then we'll schedule your job. Or siding. Siding is another thing. Roofing, we're in line with everybody else that's needing roofing. But you will know within a matter of a couple weeks. Well, put it this way: if you're not approved, you'll know within a week. If you are approved, and we have to do the house visit, it takes a little bit longer.
That's pretty good.
But it's not like dealing with government agencies where it drags on for months. It's much quicker than that. And I do want everyone to understand, we want to help you. We want to help you do those repairs. We don't want you living in houses that have leaky roofs or windows that are broken. And so we do our best to make sure you get qualified, not try to turn you down.
Very good.
Now, Ms. Laura, I'm not privy to the data, but in my personal experience and observations, it seems like single mothers are usually the ones that take advantage of this program. How often are married couples taking advantage of it, and is it even possible?
You're saying for the new home program?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, yes. So we actually are loan originators. So we follow all the fair housing loan uh, rules as far as discrimination and everything. So we take the applications as they come in, and it just happens that the majority of ours are single mothers. We do have some families in the program, but there's absolutely no reason a family can't apply. And we build, when it comes to size of homes, we build for the size of the family. We've built one or two 5 bedrooms, quite a few 4 bedrooms, majority are 3 bedrooms. We make sure that um, that we build it long enough that, or build it big enough that different gender children aren't sharing bedrooms, all that kind of thing. Or if there's big age discrepancy, that a toddler isn't in a same bedroom as a middle school child, that kind of thing.
Wow.
That's great. That's great. We just need more people to volunteer. I don't know. I'm sure you have guidelines for volunteers, but so a lot of people say, I don't have time, or that kind of thing. Is there the policy where if you can only donate 6 hours, donate that? If you can only come 1 or 2 days, you can do that?
Right. So we can use volunteers in several different places. We can use them in our restore. If you don't want to be out in the weather or whatever, you can come in, you can help stock merchandise, clean, polish. If you like to polish furniture, I mean, we've got a whole 15,000 square feet of furniture that could be polished, all kinds of things that we can use in the restore. We also, on our construction sites, we generally operate from 8 to noon. So it's only a 4-hour shift. We do it depending if you're on the repair or the new build team, 3 days a week. And so you don't have to make a huge investment. What we would like is I guess we would like to know that you're going to come every Wednesday or every Tuesday or one day a month, and which day that is, so we can schedule our teams. But we could take people just for a couple hours, and you don't have to be skilled. Our repair manager and our new construction manager, their job is to create a really good volunteer experience. Okay. Habitat itself is built on volunteer labor. I mean, that's the mission. That's part of our mission is to build these homes using volunteers, to involve people, the families, the community in our habitat builds. And so we need volunteers. And so our construction managers don't generally swing a hammer. They're on site to help the volunteers, to teach them, to guide them, and to make it a good experience for the volunteers.
You mentioned the restore. Can you talk a little bit about the restore and a little bit about what that program is? Because I don't want that to get lost in transition and people think that you're talking about the repair service that you guys offer.
Okay, so we own a restore. It's there on Fraser Street by the Subway and the Domino's. It's 15,000 square foot show space. And the restore basically takes in donated goods, good saleable merchandise. We will come and we'll pick it up free, and we clean it up and we put it on the showroom. The restore and the sales from the restore help build the houses. We do get comments on Facebook and from people in the store, well, why aren't you giving me, you're a charity, you're collecting this furniture, you're getting it free, why aren't you giving me the furniture? And that's not the idea behind the model. The idea behind the model of the business model of a restore is to sell the merchandise at a very discounted price and to use those funds to help support the mission of the organization, which is helping families with housing. So in the restore, we have a book section, fine art section. We have all kinds of furniture, bedroom, dining room, kitchen furniture. We have a construction area, appliances, TV, and it's a lot of things go through there. I'll see people pull up a piece of furniture that's been on Facebook for a couple months and say, is it still there? The furniture and items in our restore turn, the inventory turns about every 2 to 3 weeks. So it's pretty quick moving. If you see it, you need to get it now. But that too is run with a small staff, and we have very dedicated volunteers that work in the back warehouse room, that price items for us, that clean them up, that get it on the showroom floor. And without them, we'd need to hire 3 or 4 more people, which would not make it cost effective. So our volunteers are very important to us.
Very good.
Yeah, very good products there at the Restore. We actually got a door from my mother's house from that store. So good stuff in there. If
There
you
is good
can,
stuff.
volunteer and go frequent and visit their store and get some goods, good prices.
Well, thank you for bringing all of that up. I know that Mr. Neal has to jump out of here. But before he goes, we want to thank him for coming on today. I want to share a quick little shot of one of my favorite presidents, President Jimmy Carter. He actually, now this is a picture in a video from 2016, but at age 95, he is still out there trying to help and volunteer with building these houses in any way he can. So if he can do it, then we surely can go out and do something.
And that's true, Ebony. We have a lot of retirees that's, could give a little time and stuff, because I'm planning on giving a little time, and I could find a little time, because we're pretty busy. But just walking in and helping stock some shelves and stuff, I could do that. I've background supply and maintenance and stuff like that. So, I don't mind doing polish some furniture, sweep the floor, whatever and stuff. So you see me pop in there, that's where I'm at. So
that's excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's what I'm asking everyone to do that, especially the NAACP, our executive committee, and our organization. Just all that could hear my voice. Please help out, because we got to help ourselves. So that's what we do. I matter of fact, I have some tile from an office we just did, so I'm gonna drop that off also. So you can utilize that. And some nice flooring. So it's large enough to do a small bathroom or closet or something. But I appreciate you, Laura. And anytime you want to come on the NAACP to get information out, it's open to you, because this is what we do.
Thank you very much. And I do hope people apply. Like I said, we've got the money to, especially in the repairs, to help with the houses, and we're ready.
Yeah, and I walked into the meeting this morning with the Low Country veterans, and they were talking about your program. They had your advertisement and they're handing it out. We had a man that walked in this morning needing help, and they were talking about how he could get help and gave them the application and stuff. So,
great.
Like you said, it's everywhere. I just left the meeting, and I said, "Wow, I'm going to this show right now, for a minute at least, to let her know how the word is getting out and stuff." And we are doing a lot with the Low Country veterans, also helping with furniture, whatever they need and stuff. So we'll work hand in hand with you from that angle too. You just took contact Major Rutledge, and we'll work from that angle also. So my hands on a lot of organization, but I'm gonna try to put some time in with you also.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Neal. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you. I'm going to a funeral and stuff. I'm supposed to be in right now, but enjoy your day, and thank you for coming on.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
I'm definitely gonna volunteer when I can as well. But you definitely don't want me out there building anything. I have your roof on the floor.
Hello.
We'll find a job for you.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Now, I do have a tough question to ask you. It was actually submitted by email. It was said that you all are having problems with finding individuals with utilizing this grant money. And the argument was, many, I don't know what the percentage would be in Georgetown, and specifically on the West End, of those folks. Why is it such a challenge to find people to utilize the homes and the money with? What's the challenge there?
I'm not sure, and I wish I could find out. I know that some we've had to turn down because it's heirs property, and we can't do anything about that. We've worked with them. We've had an heirs property clinic as part of our education program, telling them and teaching them how to try and resolve the heirs property. It just hurts our feelings to have to turn them down, especially for that reason. And I'll be honest, Ebony, I don't know. Is the other thing a trust factor? I don't know. But if anyone has a solution, I am more than willing to hear it. Like I said, we've got $200,000 and we have 2 years we have to spend it in. We are looking for applicants, and our process is very easy. I don't know. It's very simple questions. What's your address? What's your monthly income? Are your taxes current? I mean, the form is not bad. We'll even help fill out the form if someone's uncomfortable, filling out the form. We have someone on staff that's called Family Services, and her job is to work with all the homeowners or repair clients to get the paperwork together. So I want to say we're trying to bend over backwards to make this program work for people in the city of Georgetown. And we also, not to discount the rest of the county, we have a separate pool of money that we've fundraised for in the past that we have to do repairs in the county also. But as far as the 200,000, it's the city. But
It's the city.
If someone's got ideas, like I said, we've put out applications in 70 locations.
Okay.
Ideas.
Okay. If you have I don't know if you all, is it just a paper application, or is there a website, or is it just the paper?
They can download it off the website.
They can. Okay. Mm-hmm. What we can do is also put that out on our website and social media links, so that individuals might be able to see that and pass it along digitally. Because a lot of people may not. I've not seen one in the community, and I'm pretty much everywhere. And I'm not saying they're not there, but a lot of people now are just, even my 85-year-old grandma, she'll probably see it on her phone on Facebook much quicker than she would, maybe out in the community. And the last question would be, I heard you say something about maybe there's a trust factor. Can you explain what you mean by the trust factor? Maybe there might be a lack of trust.
I know that in the past, some people in the community have gotten burned or hurt by people saying they're going to do something and they don't. And that's not us. We say we're going to help repair your house. And if you qualify, we'll help repair your house. No strings attached. And I just want to make sure that that's clear. I don't want to get into all the old politics and past history and all that. And I don't especially know it in Georgetown. I've lived here for 3 or 4 years. But I just want to make sure that everyone understands that Habitat is a well-known ethical organization. And when we say we're going to do something, we do it.
Very good. I am so very happy and excited that we can finally get you on the show, because we had talked one time before and things just, got really hectic for us. And so you could get here. We do appreciate that. And in any way that we can help, please feel free to call or email us, and we will definitely do our best to try to get the word out and to help however we can.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you to everybody that's on there listening.
Have a good day. So Deontay, I think we had a pretty good show today.
I think so. Great information for the community. Great information for myself. I learned a lot.
Yeah, me too. Goodness. Because that's what we're about. The NAACP Spotlight Show number 5520. We're here to educate, motivate,
and
activate. Now you got activate. Now you got to actually do some work, because nothing happens by accident. So anyway, with that being said, we thank you all. We'll be right back here, same time, same place at 11 o'clock next Saturday. Our co-host, Miss Marilyn Hemingway, she will probably be the one hosting that show at that time. But check back in with us. Please be sure to like us. If you're here, like us. Let us know that you learned something and that you're here. And also share this video if you feel compelled to do so. With that being said, happy Saturday.